there, guys. Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another episode on the Jesse Hill Airsoft channel. Today we're going to be shooting again. Now, of course, like I said before in the other two episodes yesterday, we kind of ran into an issue of just not having enough daylight, but I'm going to be shooting a couple more videos today for you guys. Of course, now I have my lovely outside camera, which is doing me quite well. So let's just jump right into the episode today. Today we're going to be test firing, and I'm going to be showing you guys how and a good way to handle the M79 Thumper grenade launcher. Now, this Airsoft series is made by King Arms, which is a very nice company when it comes to building things with wood furniture and a good metal finish. That being said, I'm going to show you the gun. Now, she's got a pretty decent hefty weight. The stock is where all the weight is, which is pretty nice because all the weight's going to be in the back. Believe it or not, the sights can be usable within, reason. If you have one of the rubber wads or foam wads, it actually really helps because they are going to arc. Because remember, despite the fact there's going to be a lot more muzzle velocity with the rubber wads being expanding from the gas, you're still going to have some issues. So actually using this and gauging it out in increments of, I'd say about 5 to 10 feet, you might actually land a target that's actually further away, given windage and that sort of thing. So actually this tool is very useful, believe it or not. But since I only have the shower shells, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these. Now, of course, this is the Force Eagle shower shell. I call the blunderbuss shells because it just turns this puppy into a gigantic shotgun, and on CQB this is a force to be reckoned with. Many people say that the 6-chambering grenade launcher is superior, but I don't necessarily agree. I've heard some horror stories about the 6-chambering grenade launcher, and one of them is that the polymer will actually freeze up after a certain point. You got to remember that these shells are loaded down with CO2, propane, or as I'm using right now, Airsoft red or green gas. I prefer it because it keeps the FPS low and legal within most CQB indoor airsoft places. Now, according to the region, it may change, but of course, what it comes right down to is what they will allow. Of course, mine only allows 0.2 gram BBs or higher, and it has to be of good quality. That being said, grenade launchers can actually fare quite well considering that shower shells tend to be slightly less FPS, depending on what it is. The smaller ones will have lower FPS. So I would recommend you pack a lighter pellet inside, not a cheapo pellet, but a lighter pellet. That way they go a little further. Of course, then you're going to have a lot of the other main brands that are going to have larger shells up to 3 to 4 inches tall. And fire many more rounds. Many of those can hurt like the dickens, so I recommend you go with a heavier grade. It just depends on the grade of the shell or the size of the shell or the gas consumption. Again, if you want the most bang for your buck, I would go with CO2. But you also got to remember CO2 grenade shells and CO2 pistols tend to rot a little more considering the CO2 is considerably colder. So let's jump right into the gun. I know you guys came here for that one reason. It's as simple as breaking open the hatch and placing the round inside the gun. So, I'll show you. As you can tell, it's quite loud, and the distance was considerable. As you can tell, it went way out there. Now, as I explain again, I'm going to reload it, but first I'll show you how to reload. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You dump it in the handy dandy day bag, and you drop another round in. I'll just go behind the camera here, and I'll show you how far it can go. Now, I didn't gas this up very much because, again, my CO2 is running out and you can never find good things when you need it. So I'll just shoot it in the range that I believe I can get. Now, the range might not be as good as you expected, but then again, the camera's not going to do a lot of justice. That being said, a lot of those pellets went quite far, considering the low amount of gas I actually put in those shells. Had I fully gassed them out with the 5-second interval, which I recommend for most of the smaller shower shells about this size, which are roughly within 100 rounds. This is about a 90-round shell. I recommend that you just load them like normal and aim slightly up at your target. Not only going to have a showering effect, but anybody that's within close range is going to get nailed with the pellets that don't necessarily fly out. Like all grenade launchers, not all pellets are going to fly just straight out. Some of them are going to dump about I'd say about 25 to 50 feet out, which is not going to have the maximum range. That being said, you can still get a kill. It's just on how you use the grenade launcher. Remember, this is not like your standard rifles or AEGs. This is a specialty weapon, and with specialty weapons come special rules and capabilities. You know, I can't just point and shoot with my PPSH and arc it and expect to get maximum spray. Whereas if I arc this or aim it a certain direction or a different way, or I have close range or whatever it may be, depending on the rules of engagement in your airsoft community, you can do quite a bit of damage with this thing. If you hunker down and just have a couple pouches laying on the ground, which I recommend you keep them on a belt or something, if they're on the molly, the weight, I have the 6-round pouches, and the weight can be immense on the molly gear, and sometimes it can tear. I've not had that problem, but I've also heard of people, you know, this gets up, about 6 of these in one pouch can get up to about 5 pounds, and when you're running around and that's bobbing around because it's bulbous and out to here, you're definitely going to deal with some shaking problems, and it might rip some of it. So I recommend having it on a belt or adjacent to it, or just carry it with you, set it on the ground, and make like a mortar pit or something and hunker down. Remember, this is a support weapon. It is not necessarily an engagement weapon. I have engaged and killed entire teams with one shot. That being said, it is not encouraged because the reload speed is going to be slightly less. That being said, the construction is superior to the 6-round chambering grenade launchers that you see out today. I would recommend this strongly because the range is going to be a lot longer because of the superior barrel, and it even measures out the max chains. That being said, I strongly recommend this gun. It is slightly expensive, and remember, being a grenadier in airsoft will set you back quite a bit of money, but it's definitely worth it. You guys have a nice day. Remember to play safe when you're airsofting, and have a wonderful day.